Hey guys, I got asked to do a rig rundown where I just kind of explain what guitars I use, what equipment I use to record with, to play with, and all of that stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it. Cool, so starting off, this guy here, just ignore I've got a shit ton of cases there. I have a ukulele Yamaha. It is a 6-string ukulele uptuned from a regular guitar. It's great for camping trips. I thoroughly enjoy going to places like Cedarburg and hanging out in nature, and grabbing that with me is always a good time. This guitar is a 1969 Japanese Kawai, which puts it at around about 50 years old, give or take. This was the guitar that was passed down to me from my mother, and I basically learned how to play guitar on this guy. It's probably my most favorite guitar. I recently rebuilt a lot of the stuff with new components. The original machine heads were completely rusted and just non-functional. Over here, I've got a peasant vinyl, some Volvadinia merch, Dangerfield's vinyl. For bass, I use a Ibanez 4-string to record with. It offers a pretty good tone. I use it to DR, so I can just get any tone that I want. And yeah, so that's the bass. And then this guy here has been my companion for 15 or so odd years. This is an Ibanez S470 S series. I don't think they make those anymore, or at least not that I know of. It's got the original Infinity pickups in there, the 2 humbuckers and a single coil, and the ZR Floyd Rose tremolo bridge, floating tremolo bridge. Me and this guy have been on many adventures and played many shows together. Cool, so let's go upstairs and I'll show you pretty much a music studio that I've built myself, that I use to record and jam and pretty much get everything done with. Starting with this guy, this is an Ibanez RG LMNOP XYZ. I actually don't know. It was a diamond in the rough. It plays like an absolute dream. It's got array humbuckers at an angle, obviously, because it's, as you can see, it is a multi-scale fan fret guitar, 7 strings. The only thing I would change about it is maybe replacing the array humbuckers with bare knuckle juggernauts, but it's very difficult to get slanted pickups from the UK from bare knuckle, especially now in lockdown. This guy here is pretty much exclusively what I use to record and play Fear the Tide stuff. It is a Paul Reed Smith, a PRS SVN model of the SE series. It's surprisingly Whitechapel used this guitar, this exact guitar on their last album, The Valley. I really love this guitar. It is a fantastic guitar. It's got your 8515 hybrid pickups in there, so it's not your standard issue Seymour Duncans. I've got my single coil taps, double coil taps, volume knob, 3-way pickup selector, and yeah, this guitar was obtained to me by the guys at Music Experience. They did a great job at finding this thing and getting it into my hands ASAP, and I could not be happier with it. It is a fantastic guitar. So recording wise, I used to use a Focusrite 2i1, 2-in-1 out, but I had some serious clipping issues with it, with hot signals coming in, so there was really problems there, especially recording with high gain. So I swapped this guy out for a Scarlett Focusrite 2i4, and I've got my 2 inputs there. My monitors are currently not hooked up, but this is pretty much where I would DI the bass, or in some occasions the guitar, or I would dual mic my cabinets or record vocals and whatnot. And at the back here I've got my studio monitors. For vocals I use the Samson CO1 condenser. This thing is surprisingly really good for if you're on a budget and whatnot. It's really got some crystal clarity, and it's especially great at recording acoustic guitars and getting a lot of that room ambience that you want. This guy here I use to deep clean my fretboards. It's the Dunlop Deep Conditioner. You only apply this to ebony fretboards, never apply it to a maple fretboard. You'll have problems there. These guys here, these are the strings that I use, D'Addario XLs. They're 9 gauge and they're super light. Once again, the guys at Music Experience hooked me up with these. They were pretty difficult to find. Thanks to Gendre, I managed to bag a couple packs. I've only got 2 left. I need to stock up again. The stack ahead of me here is, so this is a micro dark. So we're currently in lockdown, in quarantine, and Murphy's Law would have it that my actual amp head, an orange Dark Terror, had some electronic issues with it, and it kind of just stopped working 2 days before quarantine started. So I dropped it off at Music Experience. It's in good hands. They're taking care of it. I haven't seen it in like 2 months. I really miss it dearly. So I'm using this in the interim. This is an absolute unit of an amp head. A small package, but don't underestimate how powerful this thing is. And it's got an effects loop in the back there. These are some pedals I don't use at all. TC Electronic Dark Matter, not really my vibe. Blackstar LT Boost, for if you want some boost in your signal chain, wherever you want to put it, just to increase that bass or treble. Ibanez multi-tool, because Ibanez really love the Allen keys. Drumstick, broken drumstick from Graham from Peasant, who flung it at my head at a show. Thanks, dude. And I've obviously got a capo. Every guitarist needs a capo. I enjoy playing indie music and certain things that require using a capo. I've got a PS01 Samson pop filter that I use obviously for vocals, to reduce plosives, so I don't have to sit EQing out plosives in the mix. And then ahead of me here is the PPC 1x12 vintage Celestion 12-inch speakers, Celestion 30s. And this is a PPC 2x12, also same set of speakers, just 2 of them. And these things sound absolutely beast. I could not be happier with how they sound. They really hit the nail on the head with these cabinets. I'll eventually be buying a 4x12 and just kind of infinitely stacking a Jenga tower of orange cabinets. As you can see, orange is pretty much my go-to for everything. And then if I look down here to this little bit of a mess, this is my pedal board. Starting at the top, here's my Line 6 relay wireless. It's really good. I don't like using cables, and there's almost zero signal degradation, especially at the range that I'm using it at. If I look over here, this is the Polytune TC Electronic Noir. This is my tuner. That obviously goes first in my signal chain, and it kills anything that I need to, so it does its job. Got true bypass, which is really cool. This is the Seymour Duncan Vice Grip compressor. This guy is probably the most expensive pedal I've bought, but it does a phenomenal job at pretty much everything. It even allows me to get clean tones out of dirty channel amps, just based on how well it performs. I have the Digitech multi-effects processor, and the Moa repeater in the effects loop. Then I've got my Blackstar LT Dual for distortion. It's dual channel. I mostly use one channel, and I have my tone knobs set accordingly. I use it more like an overdrive than a distortion. That's why it's not cranked up super high. The other pedal is a MXR noise clamp, noise gate. I use this religiously. It's pretty much always on when I'm playing. I'll have it set to about 50 dB. I cannot stress this enough. If you're an aspiring musician or just a guitarist or anyone really, you need to get yourself one of these, because playing live and you're playing like a quiet part, or there's a lot of silence in between what you're playing, and you need that to be tight, say for instance breakdowns and things like that, this will completely save you from having to constantly turn your guitar volume down in order to save everyone's ears from nasty feedback. Yeah, and the Moa repeater, this is essentially just exaggerated delay. I sometimes use it. It's a little bit of a boost as well, which is quite nice. The multi-effects processor, all I really use it for is some reverb and some subtle EQ, to get rid of the some low frequencies and some high frequencies. And yeah, so that's my pedal board. I obviously need some patch cables, so I'll probably be going to Music Experience for that. And then recording wise, I use a Shure SM57 and a ProDipe. They're aligned in the Fredman style, and the Shure SM57 is pointed directly at the cone. The ProDipe is pointed at a 45-degree angle to the cone, and they're in phase. I just really like dual miking cabinets, so that's how I record with. So just a final thoughts and a few words I just wanted to say. Thanks for sticking around, for coming along with me on this very awkward rig rundown that I've never done before, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And on behalf of Fear the Tides, I just want to thank everyone for their support. Whether you're a new fan or just a friend passing a link on and you're not really into the music that we make, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all. I look forward to putting out some more releases with you guys. We actually have a total of 7 songs in the backlog ready to go. Our first one of which is Anchors, which debuts on the 12th of June. And I look forward to sharing that with you guys. So thanks for tuning in.